Underdog scramble. Shout out Byron. Let's work. Ha, ha, ha. Underdog scramble, watch the ball fly. Pin seek a birdie game, touch the sky. Drafting with perfection, every line is a blessing. Hitting birdies in succession, whole course, learn a lesson. Bunker to the cup, I'm gripping and ripping. Byron yelling, send it 808, straight dripping. Drafting with perfection.
Let's go, baby. Fans, friendly, friends, frenemies of back nine bets. Welcome back to another best ball stream. No golf bets today, best ball streams. And we have got my favorite pick in every single round. I've got 3 quick drafts we got to do before I get to those guys. So we're going to do that as we go along using the DAWG Dominator available in the Model Maniac Patreon. Link in the description below. Remember, annual subscribers to my premium package for the monthly thing, they get the DAWG Dominator for free if you sign up for the annual package. Check it out while you can. You get all of my bets, all of my models each and every week for all the tournaments every single week, including the best ball stuff as well. So lots to like. We've got number 51 being drafted over here. This is, oopsie daisy, let's go big. I've got number 51 up, and as you can see, using the tool, the DAWG Dominator, I've got myself pretty much cleared up in round 7. One of these guys can do a different schedule, and we are good to go when it comes to them without leaving a 5 in a tournament. You are always looking to have 6, at least 7 in as many tournaments as possible, and round 1 is the one that you want the most in. So that's important to see. We got no holes across the board, hopefully, based off of what I project these guys' schedules to be. So let's get back to Underdog. There we go. And I've got a updated Underdog DAWG Dominator. So we've got new ADP. We've got all sorts of stuff. It's looking good. What were we going with here? We're running late. We're running behind schedule. I think we wanted Neil Shipley. Let's get Neil Shipley involved here. Okay. Neil Shipley in the mix. So here's number 6. We can chat about every single guy over there. This is my most recent draft I've done using the tool. So there's some names for you guys if you're in the mood for that. But we have a couple more things to do here. I've got 5 and 6 minutes to get number 50 and 43 in the hopper. So we're going to go to number 5, and what we're going to do, we're actually going to paste number 5 into number 6. Going to do some dogception over here because I want to have my most up-to-date DAWG Dominator. See what's cooking over here. If we leave Alex Smalley and Neil Shipley in there, we are good to go in round 1. We are good to go in round 1 regardless, which is good to see. So that's always nice. You can't stop drafting Kirk. I know. Hey, we'll chat about that. We'll chat about that shortly. I've got the DAWG Dominator can help you with that. So, okay. So what is available to us here in 11? We've got Harris English, Shane Lowry. I mean, Harris English is someone that we may be even speaking about a little bit later over here. Harris English gives you a potential Sony start. He gives you a potential, I know he gives you an Amex start. I confirmed that on the website. Now he's got to find a cognizant guy. You know, ideally I would like just to have cognizant dudes all the way across the board. So who is our next best adjusted ranking? It would be like someone like Aldrich Potgieter. Is he even available to us? He is. Aldrich and Alex Smalley are 2 interesting people for me right now. If we got Aldrich and Alex, boom, we are 8s across the board in round 1. 8 starts in every single tournament, meaning when there are cuts, 2 of our guys that are projected to play, it could change, but 2 of our guys are projected. If they miss the cut, we still got 6 guys making the weekend and giving us additional points. We are trying to scoop up as much value as we can as we're going through every single tournament and every single selection we are going with here. So let's go ahead here and click Aldrich. I'm kind of interested to see what he can do because he also gets to play the RBC Heritage, remember? Because he was a winner last year. The RBC Heritage this time round is going to be the Century Tournament of Champions. You know what I'm saying? So everyone that goes out to Hawaii to play there, top 50 in FedEx Cup, past winners, that tournament's not happening this year. It's happening at the RBC Heritage at Harbour Town after the Masters, after that run there. So who do we want in hole number 43? We had number 43, Garrick and Neil Shipley. You caught another wild, Byron. Let's go. Garrick. I took Garrick, and then we want to take Neil Shipley again over here. I mean, taking a lot of Neil Shipley. Is Alex Smalley available? What happens if I go with Alex Smalley over here instead? Nothing. Same situation. Okay. I'm cool with that. So our final click, if we want to check, if we go... no, that's what we're doing over there. If we go Justin Rose, it changes our entire situation. If we go Jason Day, Jason Day changes things up a little bit. He kind of gives us a bit more juice in round 2 versus going with Alex Smalley. I like that. I actually prefer going with Jason Day versus Smalley. Watch, Jason Day is not going to be even available. He is. Okay. Let's go J Day. Because if we go Harris English, I think we miss a couple situations. Oh, he adds an additional. You see, I like having Jason Day at the Farmers as well, and I think he does some Houston action as well, which is hard to find. Finding Houston starts has been pretty tough lately. And I think Justin Rose also plays the Houston, does he? No, or is that Jason Day? Yeah, that's Jason Day. Let's go J Day, yeah. For our final pick. All right, so we got those done. Let's catch up with the chat. By the way, Mrs. Maniac, for Christmas and my birthday, she makes birthday's tomorrow, by the way. 34 years old. Getting old. South African drink called don't ignore the Jets logo. This is called a Steelworks. It's ginger beer, it's tonic water, just soda water, and cola tonic. Delicious. Roses cola tonic. It's like a syrup, like a cola syrup that you add to ginger beer, tonic water, put a bit of orange bitters in there, some cherries, off you go. Yeah, we go. So it's one of my favorite drinks. She makes it for me during this time of the year, along with some roasted lamb chops, baked potatoes. She loves me, so she looks after me good. Caught another wild, Byron. I'm better, baby. I'm feeling a lot better. It lasted probably 4 or 5 days. I was down, not going to lie to you. Wasn't a good period of time, but we survived. I'm, as you can tell, much better. I'll be drinking on my birthday tomorrow. So we're going to have a good time. Howdy, howdy. Howdy, howdy, Yappo. Going on. Rose Day, great last picks for me. Absolutely. We're going to get into that. We're going to be chatting about some guys that we like to be going after here. Joanne with the happy holidays. I like the golf nerd hat. We're going to roll with that. I was getting ADD to try and find my Christmas hat, and we don't know where that is in the room. So we're going to kind of just skip along and go along. Happy holidays to you, Joanne. All right. So the new tool. This is like the 6th update, basically, since it's gone live. So we've got the DAWG Dominator number 6 for me, and I have updated some power rankings. I have done some additions to this. As you can see, we've got a birdie or better gained column, and that is DP, Corn Ferry, and PGA versus the people you played against in that tournament. This is how well and how many birdies you gained on your peers. So I've got that ranked right now, 20%. This is fantasy golf. We are looking to score fantasy points. This is where we're going for our main situation. David Ford, we can fix. Ignore that. He's wrong. Thank you for reminding me. I'll fix that now. Use your brain when you see mistakes like that in the tool. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, getting back to what we're chatting about. We've got birdie or better gained. We have exposure. So you can see, okay, how you rank your guys. You can rank by how many people you've drafted. I've drafted some zeros, obviously. No Michael Thorbjornsons yet. No Patrick Cantley. No Ricky Fowlers, Bud Carleys, Burgers, Adam Scotts, Sahiths. Those kind of names not finding their way into my lineups. If we're looking for the most drafted people we've got here, we are sitting with JJ Spahn, a lot of him, in like one in every other draft. We've got Ryan Fox. Too much. Tommy Fleetwood, Garrett Kigo, Jordan Spieth. So these might be a couple names. You can see these are my highest exposure options. You can go through, change the settings here for yourselves. If you just want to do, like if you want to go into the Mayor Open, which is now, I've got major FOMO on that. It's no longer accepting slow drafts, so I can't even get involved. But you can change your round 2 starts. You can change round 3 starts. You can do whatever you're in the mood to do, and it changes your power ranking. You can adjust how much you want your power rating to be for specific golfers, because I saw Alex and Pat speaking about ranking golfers. If I took away, say, these overrides, here's Rory number 2 now all of a sudden, and Xander or Tommy Fleetwood's number 3. So it's going to tell me to take Rory second all the time, and he's getting drafted maybe in third rounds at times. So why would I want to do that? I want to take other guys like Ben Griffin, who I really like, ahead of Rory, for instance, and then get Rory when he wraps back around to the second round. So you got to make those adjustments to make the rankings make sense to you. You don't want to be taking guys way ahead of ADP. You also don't want to be adhering strictly to ADP, but ADP early on in these PGA Best Ball drafts is usually a little more predictable, a little more reasonable. Now, I've been saying a lot of people, Sam Burns is going third in ADP right now, and I've got him ranked 11th. I've got 20% exposure to Burns already. I've been taking him in rounds 2 and 3. I'm not taking Sam Burns third. If Sam Burns is going second now, after Mayo and Sky have spoken about all this stuff, give me Ben Griffin. He's going second in ADP. Sometimes Burns goes ahead of him, and all of a sudden you can get Ben Griffin in the third round, in the third pick. Oh no, we've got why is this on a timer? How do I get this? Why are these timers on these things? I've got timers on every single one of my tabs. Oh my God. Anyway, we're going to leave. We're going to have to edit that as we go. Round 1, Ben Griffin, ADP number 2. Sometimes he falls to third pick. Sometimes he falls to the fourth pick. I will be taking him every single time in the 2-hole, the 3-hole, and the 4-hole. If he falls to 5, I'm taking him there too. Give me as much Ben Griffin as I possibly can. I've only got 22% exposure on Ben Griffin right now. It's not enough. If we take a look at the DAWG Dominator, we can just kind of, as we're going along, I'll just fill these guys in to the tool and see how this goes. Ben Griffin is our first pick. I've got 11 selections of Ben Griffin. You see the combo count over here. Let me get my face out of the mix. You guys can see, for the most part, what's going on. And Ben Griffin, before we click his name, let's go take a look at why it's saying we have got. Okay, so what this is also doing is I've got adjusted rank for exposure set to yes. So if you are looking at this and you're wondering why on earth is the adjusted rank different before we've even clicked a name, it's because I've got the exposure tab set to yes for my adjusted rank. That doesn't look good. If I take that away, no, it just keeps everyone's rank the same. So I've now done over 100 drafts. I've done, I think, like 70 of them that I actually did. I've got 23 auto drafts in there by accident. Terrible, I know. And I've removed those from my exposure as well. So we've now only got these guys in the rankings. As you can see, I don't have nearly enough Scotty Scheffler. So I'm desperate for the first pick in as many drafts as I can get, which is struggling. But back to Ben Griffin. I've drafted 22% of him. I mean, that's a significant amount, ahead of the other guys down here, which kind of gives you a clue of where we're going to be going for round two's favorite pick. But I've got Ben Griffin playing the first 6 tournaments. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he does. Things could change. We can speculate. Some people don't play as much golf as they did last year, or we can speculate some people do. So I think Ben is one of these guys that kind of prides himself on being on the PGA Tour, and he will want to play as much golf as he possibly can. He's 8th in the world, got no problem getting into any of the majors. He's a volume beast. If we go over to his power rankings, makes a decent amount of birdies. We've got minimum 4 starts in every single round. We've got 13 starts projected out of Ben Griffin to start off the season. Could be a little too high, not going to lie to you. But again, at the same time, even if we go to his weighted strokes gained, like the last four months of golf has been really impressive from Ben Griffin. It's Scotty, Xander, Garrick, and Ben Griffin as some really solid couple golfers, over the last 4 months. So that's good to see from that situation. His win percentages and his top 25 rates for Ben Griffin won 10% of his starts last year. I mean, that's incredible. Finished inside the top 5 and 1 in every 4 starts, a quarter of those. And then basically 2 of every 5, he finished inside the top 10. So really important numbers. I think top 10 and top 5 percentages are where I'm kind of looking at the most. Average finishing position points also, if you take a look at Ben Griffin, 6. So that's kind of nice to see. If you kind of filter by average finishing position in these guys' situations, 6 is behind Rory, Tommy Fleetwood, and Scotty Scheffler. So it's right in the hunt for being like one of the elite golfers. And the projected starts for Ben Griffin is significantly higher than Rory and Tommy Fleetwood. So that's why he's should be drafted ahead of these 2 guys, in my opinion. And I will be taking him pretty much every single time he's available to me. Ben Griffin. We can talk about Tom Hoge falling undrafted. If we pull up Tom Hoge, why the hell not? Let's get derailed earlier. Tom Hoge. He's going to be playing a lot of golf. Now, in the final little bit, we can actually go over to this one, which see how this all works out for Tom Hoge. And it's not looking good, if I'm being honest with you. If you want Tom Hoge to win you this tournament, this contest, he's going to be providing you with 16 projected events, which is okay. He could be playing more, likely would. But if you take a look at his official world golf ranking, he's 99th in the world. And that's not good because he's not playing the Masters. He's not playing the PGA Championship. He's not playing the US Open. And he's not playing in the Open Championship. Now, in order to get into the Genesis Scottish Open, you got to be a certain ranked golfer in the world. And he may not even get into the Genesis Scottish Open. I don't even know what the criteria is, because if we take a look at what Tom Hoge's been up to, he's weighted strokes gained, he's losing like half a stroke. His last 8, it's like a full stroke. His last 4, it's not looking good at all. And he made like 60% of his cuts only last year. Hardly inside the top 25. A lot of that happened early. I don't think I like Tom Hoge I mean, you're drafting a guy, yes, his volume's high, but he hasn't gained strokes in like forever over a period of time. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he bounces back. I have auto drafted a couple of him by accident. So if you're in the mood to sprinkle him in from a volume perspective, go for it. But the fear with Tom Hoagie is he's going to help you early. And if he plays well, he plays well. But if he continues to play poorly, you didn't see him play the Canadian Open last year. He didn't play the John Deere Classic. He could just give you a Travelers Championship and a Scottish Open. Going to get 2 starts from him in the final. He's not going to play the US Open or the Open Championship right now. So when you're looking to have guys that are going to be game changers for you, when the money's being made, $50,000 on the line, Tom Hoagie's potentially only going to give you 2 starts. It's not ideal, you know. That's the problem with Tom Hoagie. Prior to this, he was playing US Open, he was playing Open Championship. You're going to get 4 of the 6. Maybe he plays Canadian, maybe he plays John Deere Classic as well, if he's playing badly enough. But then he's also playing badly. Is he going to be contributing? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's a weird situation when it comes to Tom Hoagie and guys like that, who, despite being inside the top 15 FedEx Cup points, may not be an asset to you down the line. You're looking to really capitalize on the top 50 guys providing you major success as well, because the guys you're picking after them might not be as good majors because they're not inside the top 50 in the golf FedEx Cup rankings. Comprende, Ted? Hopefully that answers your question. Round 2, favorite click. Let's change this to show us it the entire time. And it's going to be Tommy Fleetwood, ADP of 11. If we go over to the DAWG Dominator, we're going to type in Ben Griffin over here. And then we're going to type in Tommy Fleetwood. And we don't have any combinations of these 2 guys. So ideally, you can get a Ben Griffin, you snag a Tommy Fleetwood on the way back. That's kind of ideal for me. You don't have any Cognizant starts yet, but you have got yourself loaded schedule for round 2. Tommy plays the Valspar. Tommy plays the Valero. Tommy does not play the Houston Open. So you are getting a ton of utility out of these 2 guys in round 2. And you just got to figure out your stuff in round 1. Remember, in round 1, we've got 5 non-signature events. Of the 7 events in round 1, there are 5 non-signatures. So I am really liking to build in a weird way, which we can address as I get to my 3rd round person. But before we do that, as you can see, I've got 36% Tommy Fleetwood. It's telling me to go elsewhere. I need less of Tommy Fleetwood. I've got way too much. He's also arguably the 2nd best golfer in the world, maybe the 3rd best, whatever. He plays a lot of golf down the stretch. 6.55. If you can just figure out the 2s around him, you get yourself a Ben Griffin who gives you a 6 in round 1. Go heavy on the back end with KFT guys to really bolster up the non-signature event tournaments, or guys that are inside the top 100 of the FedEx but outside the top 50. We're going heavy on those guys when you're drafting a Tommy Fleetwood. Just because he doesn't play a lot in the first round doesn't mean he's bad. It means he's bad in round 1, but you can build around him. It's all about how you construct your rosters around the golfers. When guys have rankings for a specific golfer, for this specific tournament and contest, it's difficult to have static rankings because rankings have to change based off who you've drafted. You can have the top 7 guys ranked. Let's go power rankings for me. Top 7. If we go, I'm going to go projected schedule, actually, so you can see what I'm really talking about here. Top ranked options for myself. If you somehow manage to take the first 7 picks, and we're going to go Scotty, Ben Griffin, JJ, Xander, Robert McIntyre, Tommy Fleetwood, Russell Henley. What is that? 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Whatever. you are not getting hardly any Sony Open starts. You got 3 Sony Opens. If you take the first 12, Cameron Young, if you take the 12 best options available to us in my rankings, you're only going to get 5 Sony Open starts. You're only going to get 4 Farmers Open. You know what I'm saying? So anybody that's playing the Farmers Open, once I've drafted 6 people already and none of them are playing the Farmers, anyone that plays the Farmers should be ranked higher than Robert McIntyre, for instance, who I don't have projected ranked playing the Farmers. Do you understand what I'm saying when it comes to how rankings need to change? And that's what this DAWG Dominator does. If we take away my exposure stuff, you can just see, okay, it's telling us force feed some Harry Hall, figure out a couple early starts, figure that stuff out, go from there. So Tommy Fleetwood's going to give you some holes in round 1, but the output he provides you later on in the schedule is incredible. You can just see what's going on with Tommy Fleetwood over here. He doesn't play the CJ Cup, Byron Nelson. Womp womp. A lot of the guys we're going to be drafting to figure out round 1 here do anyway, so that's fine. Give me Tommy Fleetwood playing 5 of the last 6 in the money round. We just don't get a John Deere Classic. We should be getting, hopefully, him playing the Canadian Open and seeing. He did play the Canadian Open last year, right? Yeah. No, he did not. Interesting. I wonder what the reason for that was. Maybe he goes back, maybe he doesn't. That sucks. But he's typically played the Canadian Open. But he also played a lot of golf down the stretch here. So it makes sense for him to have kind of called it quits since he played, tons and tons. But they might be doing that again. So he might be skipping the Canadian Open. So maybe you don't even count on Tommy Fleetwood to get the Canadian Open done for you guys. This is the situation we're living in. Things can change so fluidly, but ay caramba. Do I have Tommy Fleetwood playing the Canadian? We probably should take him out of there, right? We'll see. Either way, I like Tommy Fleetwood a lot, especially for rounds 2 and 3. Gives you tons of upside. He's the 3rd best golfer in the world. And we're getting him paired up with a top 5 golfer in the world, Ben Griffin. You can get Scotty, Rory, and Tommy. First pick, 11th pick. Sorry, first, 12th, 13th pick. Very much how it can go. So, yes. By the way, you use this yellow box here to change your draft pick position. All right, let's check in on some people in the chat. People are sleeping on Sanjay if he plays. I mean, yeah. His iron play cannot not improve. If his iron play gets worse, we've got problems because he was like the worst iron player in the PGA Tour last year, basically. So got to get it figured out. But plays so much golf, and he's the best chipper in the world. So he's going to be chipping in everywhere. And, but I don't necessarily have him ranked super high either. If we're looking at birdies made and things like that, he's not playing the greatest golf. So it makes sense why people are kind of sleeping on him because he's not playing great. He's kind of looking at that volume. Not necessarily the greatest in majors. Hasn't won a tournament in forever. He's just going to give you volume, So I'm fine with that. But you got to understand what you're getting into. Sammy Valimaki has fallen to 42 because I think Pat thinks he is going to be going to play in Dubai. Now, I'll give you guys, if you've tuned into the stream, here's a half an hour little sneak peek for you guys as we go through. I'll pull up the Model Maniac Underdog PGA Best Ball Discord for you guys so that you can see what the hell's going on in there. Because in there, I did some snooping around and I spy with my little eye something that looks like this when it comes to the two DP World Tour events happening in Dubai, which happen over the Sony and the Amex. The Euro World Open, Euro Dubai happens during Sony week, and the Ras Al Khaimah happens during Amex week. Now, there are people like Robert McIntyre, Akshay, who are playing in the Euro Sony week. They're playing in the Euro, and they are not playing the following week, and they are committed to the Amex. They are on the website. I've been perusing websites for you guys. This is what you get from the Model Maniac. Website searching of the nastiest kinds. Amex.com. Amex Pro Amateur.com. Not good. But anyway, you see what I'm talking about. We've got Rasmus Nygaard Peterson. He's in both. We've got Sadier playing in both. If you see your name over here, you're basically playing both. So Jordan Smith, Christopher Wrighton, Haltong Lee, a lot of the DP World Tour guys that are on PGA Tour this year with PGA Tour cards, deciding that they're good enough. They don't need to play on the PGA Tour to accumulate FedEx Cup points. They're going to go make some money, sacrifice a Sony Open and an Amex worth of potential FedEx Cup points, Aon Swing 10, etc., etc. If I was on the DP World Tour and I got my PGA Tour card, I would immediately play Sony, Amex, Farmers, Waste Management as much as I possibly. I'll go full Eric Cole if I was on the PGA Tour for the very first time. So yes, these are some names to watch out for. A couple names like Minwoo Lee only plays the first one. There's David Ford for you. Shout out David Ford. Adrian Demont, Tashat, not finding his way to the PGA Tour until the Farmers, at least potentially. So, we've got that going on. I went and found the lists off the DP World Tour site, so you can go and find all of that stuff for you guys over there. So Sammy Valimaki, why is he falling? Because Pat thinks he's playing in these events. I didn't see his name in them. I'm bullish on Sammy. So we'll see. Byron, do you have a promo code with Underdog? Yes, it is Maniac. Thank you very much for asking. She's a maniac. I'm still grabbing Wacky Valimaki at like 4. Yeah, amen. Let's go. Fantasy football garage in the house. What are your thoughts on Hoey? We'll chat about that in a little bit. Sam Stevens and Harry Hall, excellent picks last year. Now they're both in the top 15 FedEx. Okay, we can start going through those guys. This I can answer actually. Harry and Sam. Well, he has Harry, and I've got him ranked 13th. I think he's going to play the Sony and the Amex, potentially skip the Farmers. He could land up missing the Cognizant. I wouldn't be shocked if he skips that. Could miss the Valspar. I don't know how. Could miss the Waste Management. I don't know. This is the problem with these guys that go from non-top 50 to the top 50 this year. It's difficult to figure out what they're going to do. Now, Harry's not inside the top 60 in the world. He's not top 50 in the world. So he's not in US Open. Sorry. Or is he? Because he top 30 in FedEx gets you into all the majors. So that's not going to change his life around at all. I would imagine he plays a decent amount of golf still. We may have to douse down some of his starts, though. I don't know. We'll see. Sam Stevens, I think, plays a lot as well. I don't think he's going to play good enough golf to afford himself an easy route, and he's also 50th in the world. So Sam Stevens, I think, could be, of the two, between Harry Hall and Sam, the guy that does play the most golf, because he's 50th in the OWGR rankings, and he does not. Why did I think he wasn't playing in? Do the top 50 get into all the? No, the top 50. It's the top 30 in the FedEx Cup that get into all the majors. How did Sam Stevens get into the majors? Is he in the majors? I think I had him in, and then I think he's fallen out of the top 50, or he's on the top 50. So he's currently set for them, but he's not. Okay. All right. So there we go. Answer your question there. Next name, Jordan Spieth. We are going with Spieth in round 3. If you take a look at what Jordan Spieth gets up to, it's good for the soul. We want to have Jordan Spieth without the thing disappearing. I can't believe I've set every single one of these banners without a stationary time there. There we go. Jordan Spieth, round 3. If we take a look at what Spieth gets up to, here he is over here, filtered for me already. And his schedule is bananas. We can actually just go to the projected schedule here and find Jordan Spieth. Here's Jordan Spieth, projected schedule. Let's cruise over a little bit. There we go. So Jordan Spieth came out and said, I will be playing as much golf as I possibly can so I can make it into the AT&T Pebble Beach on merit. He will obviously get invited to this as a sponsor's invite because he is sponsored by AT&T Pebble Beach. No, AT&T he is sponsored by. So they will invite him to that. The Genesis Invitational, you think Tiger Woods is not going to invite Jordan Spieth to his own tournament? I disagree. I think he'll play in that. Now, whether or not he's inside the rankings to make it into the Arnold Palmer Invitational is yet to be determined, because Spieth did not get chosen by Sam Saunders, who's Arnold Palmer's like great-grandson or whatever, last year to get into the API. Him and Ricky did not get selected as a sponsor's invitation. So there's a good chance that Spieth does not get selected again this year. There's also a good chance he does get selected. It would be his 8th straight start, with the Players being his 9th straight start. If he's not in and not qualified, I can see him playing the Cognizant. If he is qualified for the Arnold Palmer Invitational, I think he can take a break at the Cog. It would mean he had played well early on, though, right? It would mean he played well. He's also 80th in the world when it comes to world golf ranking. So he is the Masters a green jacket holder. He'll be going there every single year. I think he'll be playing the PGA Championship, I think. And he's not slated for the US Open, though. And he's obviously won. Well, of course he's playing the PGA Championship. He's a winner of that. The tournament he has not won. He may not even get a chance to try and complete the Grand Slam because he can't get into the tournament right now. He's not qualified for the US Open. Interesting situation. So in order to achieve the Slam, he needs to find himself inside the top 50 in the world. In order to do that, you got to play well. You got to play a lot. The last 13 weeks of your golf's calendar really gets weighted heavily in OWGR. Spieth's going to have to get off to a hot start. We could see him play 13 times in the first 14 weeks. We could see this guy play a ton of golf. There is a Zurich Championship between this situation here, by the way. So he's not going to be playing all of these in a row, not all 11. He's going to go 6-5. Could play a lot of golf this year. Coming off an injury, who the hell knows if he holds up or not. It is speculation. Take a couple of these out if you want. Remove this. Then he falls from 15th in my model to what? Stays 15th. Nothing too crazy. That missing start doesn't necessarily do that much for him. So it just adds a smidgen. Fun stuff. So there's Jordan Spieth. I think he provides you with a lot of utility. He's going to give you starts aplenty. He's a consistent golfer when it comes to finishing inside the top 20. Making cuts. He makes a lot of cuts. 91% made cut rate last year. It's one of the better made cut rates in this field. You know, Russell Henley, 84%. JJ Spahn, 83%. Jordan Spieth made 91% of his cuts. Now, did he finish inside the top 25? More than half the time, no. But he's making cuts, scoring you points. Average finishing positions, only 3 points for those. That's one birdie. Not ideal. How did he do on the birdie side of things? He gains a quarter of a birdie on the field per round. Not terrible. So it's stuff like that you got to think about as you're going through this. Jordan Spieth, round 3, one of my favorite picks. Remember, he's a non-signature event. So we've gone 2 signatures, non-signature again with our guy, Rico Hoey. Someone was asking about him in the comments. I love Rico Hoey. Why do we like Rico Hoey? Well, I've got him ranked 17th. I've drafted 18% of him so far. We could see him starting 7 straight tournaments to begin the year. He finds himself in a specific position over here, Rico, where he was inside the top 10 of FedEx Fall Cup guys, FedEx Fall Swing. So the top 10 guys get in. If you've got a black background and a yellow name, it means you're in for the first 2 signature events. If you've got a green background, it means you're not playing in those. Sorry, green text, black background, you're not playing signatures. Green background means you are signatures for the full year. That's kind of the color coding. I should have done yellow for them. It is what it is. All right. Back to Rico. 7 straight. Boom. Uncle Rico out the gates, playing fantastic. How's he ever played at these events? He's pretty much struggled there. Not good. Playing a totally different game right now, though. If you take a look at what he was up to over the last couple starts, I had bet him outright many, many times in the fall swing. So he's one of the guys that if he doesn't play signature events in the fall type fields, going to be crushing. Absolutely crushing. So you're just totally agreeing with me, disagreeing with me. I'm done taking. Well, the thing is, I haven't taken too much Spieth in the 3rd round. I've been taking him in rounds 4 and 5 since I started my drafts a couple weeks ago. He's now going in the 3rd round. I just went off ADP. I still like Jordan Spieth at ADP. But if you have too much of him, get off of him. It's easy. I agree with you. So Rico could get into the first 7. He's 69th in the world. Official golf world ranking means not in the Masters, not in the PGA Championship yet, not in the US Open, not in the Open Championship, but he's only 19 spots away from getting into those. If he plays well and continues to strike the ball like he has and finds his broomstick putter, Rico Hoey can get some shit done in 2026. He was 15-1 to win golf tournaments in the fall swing, people. Round 4, volume, merchant. Look at this. He's going to have to be playing a lot of golf. He could also find his way into a couple of these majors and some signature events because he gets the opportunity to play in 2 of them early. There's only 10 people, 15, because there's the 5 additional people early in the year that get into that one. 15 of them that aren't locked in for the full year get a chance to gain more FedEx Cup points so that they can play the Arnold Palmer Invitational. You know, the Cognizant Classic is only one of the other event that allows them to get more points before the API. So we might see a lot of guys outside the top 15 FedEx Cups obviously going to be playing the Cognizant to try and get into the API. So this is, yes, delete that. It's my exposure. If you want it, it's just showing people what's going on. So go ahead, delete that out of there, put your own exposure in. It's just a template, my friend. Thanks for getting the tool. I hope it's going well for you. So Rico could be playing a lot of golf. He'll be playing the players, get you another 4 in this situation. If he wins early, he gets into RBC Heritage. If he wins early, he gets into all the signatures pretty much. So he could potentially get that done. He could also not, and just has to grind out the ass end of the schedule again. A very good golfer, playing the John Deere, playing the Canadian Open, playing the Genesis Scottish, giving you some reps. A very good golfer playing the John Deere Classic, potentially. Absolutely. So let's go. Give me Rico Hoey in the 4th round. Let's go. He can score. So there's some stuff to like about. Now, we've gone Ben Griffin. We've gone Tommy Fleetwood. We've gone Jordan Spieth, Rico Hoey. 2 signatures, 2 non-signatures. My next favorite pick in round 5 is Michael Brennan. And it goes along with the roster construction that I like to build around, because we are going to somebody that's not even in the first couple signature events. If you take a look at Michael Brennan's schedule here, he could very easily find himself playing in these signature events based off of sponsors' invitations. He's a very marketable individual coming off the Americas tour. He won the Lava Land Classic, the Utah Desert Championship at the Black D. So he's a PGA Tour winner, which means RBC Heritage, check that box. Signature event in the second round. He's in. Masters tournament. He's inside the top 50 by the end of the year. Also won the Lava Land Challenge. He's in. Going to be playing these other three to try and maybe get himself into signature events if they don't soak him up over here. You never know. So if things don't go well for him early in the year, he might not play these two events. I'm fine with that. We're going to get the 34th best golfer ranked in the world. You know, some live casualties, but top 50 guy in the world playing 5 straight non-signature events. He could easily break the slate over here. If he gets sponsors invites, we're getting 7 straight starts from someone that's one of the best golfers in the world in round 5. He could completely blow up and suck, but he's already won on the PGA Tour and he's got insane amounts of length off the tee. So I think there's a good chance. I mean, he's certain to be playing the RBC Heritage. So I love that for him. 6 pretty much guaranteed starts in round 2 is really nice when you've got 5 guaranteed, potentially 6 or 7. Michael Brennan. Yeah, this guy's a boss. He's a badass. Badass. Now, we've gone 3 straight non-signature event guys, which means we got to be going to a signature event dude. And I can't stop clicking Russell Henley. In round 6, if you're giving me Russell Henley, I will be taking him and snapping his ass up. Let's filter by ADP, get Russell Henley in over here. In the 6th round, we're going to go and take a look. Russell Henley amidst Max McGreevy, Denny McCarthy, Michael Thorbjornsson, Chris Kirk, Aaron Rai, Ryan Gerard, Akshay Bhatia, Colin Morikawa. What is this disrespect? Russell Henley is a good golfer. He's averaging 2.2 strokes. Averaging 2.2 strokes around Waialae Country Club where they play the Sony. If you take a look at guys playing at the Sony Open early in the year, off of average draft position, we can zoom out here pretty quickly before we see a lot of black. You know what I'm saying? Compared to if you go to like a signature event, I mean, look at what you've got dealing with here. There's a multitude of people not playing in the Sony Open early in the drafts. And these are all the best guys in the world. Apparently, you know, Siwoo Kim maybe a volume merchant. Sungjae, same situation. Michael Kim a little bit as well. But everyone else that's going from 12 and up is extremely good at golf. Russell Henley should be one of these guys. We're getting him like 4 rounds later. And all of these guys, Cameron Young, Sam Burns, Scotty Scheffler, they're going to give us like 4 starts in the first 7. Russell Henley's also going to give us that situation. He's going to give us a Sony, and he's potentially going to give us a Cog. I mean, I would be shocked if he doesn't go back to the Cognizant because he has almost won that tournament before. He's almost won the Sony before. It's 2 situations he's played very good golf at. If you take a look at his strokes gained at these tournaments, he's averaging between those 2 strokes per round. That's like absurd. You can scroll all the way up here and find other names like Nick Taylor. There's guys like Sam Stevens at the Farmers Insurance. Obviously, he played great there. But Hideki, Mav, you know, these are names getting drafted way earlier than him with similar strokes gained averages at these events. Why is Russell Henley getting drafted so late? If we take a look at Russell Henley's situation here, how do you find Russell Henley? Just filter by top 5. top 5 in the world. Because Russell Henley's going to show up pretty quickly. Scotty Scheffler, Tommy Fleetwood, Rory McIlroy, Russell Henley. Those are the 4 best top 5 rates on the PGA Tour. Let me zoom in for you guys that are blind. Here's Russell Henley finishing inside the top 5 in 1 in every 4 starts. Russell Henley finishing inside the top 10, 1 in every other start. It's the second best top 10 rate in the world. Any option you can select in Underdog, DFS, PGA Best Ball, Rory McIlroy, Russell Henley, and Scotty Scheffler all finish inside the top 10 more than half the time. Why is Russell Henley getting drafted so far after this? If we take a look at finishing position, like, where's this stuff? Finishing positions. If we go over to this tool, top 10 all the time, you're getting yourself a guaranteed 5 points. Just add that to the total. Every other time Russell Henley's playing, add 5. Every other time, once in every 4 times, Russell Henley's getting himself 12 points for finishing inside the top 5, at least. Potentially 14, potentially 16, potentially 18, potentially 20. He won the API. Russell Henley on the West Coast is fantastic. What on earth is he doing going in this round? He's too good of a golfer to be doing that, and it now allows you to get a Sony and potentially a Cognizant start under the belt early. 2 very difficult tournaments to get good golfers playing in for both. Russell Henley gives you that. He's also could very well win at Pebble Beach or the Genesis. The guy is absurdly good when it comes to major finishes even. He's been solid in majors lately. So, I don't know. Russell Henley in round 6. I've had Russell Henley in round 7 and 8. If you're going to give me him so far down there as my third guy, if we're going to go back to our DAWG Dominator here, we've got to add these guys in and see what's coming out on the other side. So we've gone Rico. That's not Ricky. We want Rico. Then we want Michael Brennan. And then we want Russell Henley. Now, just like that, if you go these 4 guys, take a look at what's happened in round 4 already. You've drafted 6 people, and the worst situation you have for projected starts is a 4. I've gone through a couple drafts where if you find yourself having clicked 6 names already, you could have some 1s out here. And the best names go first, right? So you got of the first 36 names to have gone, you've got 4 of the best 36 for every single tournament coming up. In round 3, outside of the API, which Jordan can play his way into, which Michael Brennan can play his way into, which Rico Hoey can play his way into, we've got basically 5s across the board for a very difficult round 2. So starting with these 6 guys like this, it is a great way to begin your drafts. Or combinations of guys like this. But to me, Russell Henley really gets this lineup home early. And I'm bullish on him. He's very underrated. So I will gladly take 30. I will be taking Russell Henley. My rule is if he's there as my 3rd pick for a signature event guy in round 6 and 7 and 8, I'm taking his ass all the time. Russell Henley, let's go. Chat, what are you guys saying? Quit steaming my guys. I've drafted 2/3 of my team, so now I'm going to be getting off of these guys. That's why I've got my exposure thing. I need to set that back to yes. I need to get off of some of these people, but I will be taking, if Russell Henley falls to me in 6 and 7 round, I will be taking him. Exactly. If you are looking at getting someone through the first round, if Russell Henley could easily win the Sony and the Cognizant, he could, or finish top 5. Winning, it doesn't matter. Like, if you finish top 5, you're only scoring like 5 points less than, or 8 points less than the winner. So whereas I think in DK, in DK, there's not even, I can't even see. Do I have past contests that I can go look at? What is the scoring for DK? I think it's 30 to first and then 10 to, I don't even have enough. It's best NFL. Yeah, I don't have anything. Well, I don't even know what the DK point scoring is, but it's significantly weighted to first. Whereas if you're just finishing top 5, repping them out, baby. Let's go. Right. But again, you got Tommy Fleet. If you're pairing Henley up with Tommy Fleetwood and Rory McIlroy, Henley's job is getting it done in round 1 and round 2 and round 3 in the signature events and the majors. Then in round 4, Tommy Fleetwood, Rory McIlroy, Rico Hoey, Jordan Spieth, go crazy. Come get your shit together by the time round 5 comes through, and we go. There we go. 30, 20, 18. So you're getting 18 points for third, which is 12 points difference to first, right? So like you're getting 18 points for second and only 20 for first. So winning isn't important. You don't need winners. You need top 5ers. You know, winning is fine. If you make one more birdie than the winner, you outscored him fantasy-wise anyway. You know, that's why this is a nice flat point system for this type of stuff. So the bet on Henley comes down to if you think he can win multiple single entries or majors and then just pair him with grinders. Yeah, he doesn't even have to, though. Like we were just saying, he doesn't have to win. He just needs to finish top 5, which he does 1 in every 4 starts. So if he's playing 4 times in the first round, you are likely going to have a top 5 from Russell Henley, which you're getting in round 6. It's the Sony and the Cognizant, potentially, if he plays that. That could be 2 top 5s. You know, the majors are what's offsetting his top 5 rate, potentially, and signature events. If he's one of the best names in the field of a Sony and the Cognizant, let's freaking go. So I'm all for it. I can't stop drafting Russell Henley. Then someone was asking about Sami Välimäki in the chat. What on earth is... I know Mayo, potentially, we've already spoken about Sami, so it won't be long. But I've got Sami playing all 7 to start off with. He's finding himself with a chance to absolutely take care of business. I think I need to change some formulas, yeah. But anyway, this is what happens when you make some edits. But we got this figured out. So Sami Välimäki, 38th in the world, outside the top 15 FedEx, but he's going to be playing the first 2 signature events. So I can see him playing 7 straight. Absolutely. He needs to keep himself inside the top 50 to play in the PGA, the US Open, and the Open Championship. He needs to play more golf to kind of get himself into the API. He could miss the Cognizant. He could miss the Farmers. Whatever. He misses 1. He's playing a lot. He could also miss the first 2. And the Cog. I don't know. You know? But I don't see him on the entry list for the DP World Tour events. So I would assume he's going to be playing because he's got a great opportunity to get himself into these signature events. Now, if we click Sami Välimäki and he plays like we expect him to play, we got 5s across the board. We got 6s and 7s over here already. Obviously, the players is always going to have, you got likely 12 people that will be playing in the players because that's just how it works. So a lot to like from the start. Sami Välimäki, you know, getting that Mayo slide. Sometimes you put the tomato on the mayonnaise, it slides off the sandwich. You gotta keep it in there. So Sammy Valimaki, Sammy Sandwich is gonna stay nice and tidy for us. I got some wild drafts earlier. I shared, look at this. I'm in the second last column here. I got Higo, English. I got Sammy Valimaki in the 9th. I auto-drafted a Tom Hoagie by accident, but got Russell Henley, Rico Hoey, some names. Where did Rory go? Yeah, early with Tommy Fleetwood at the 6-7. Interesting. But they've been going, a lot later as well. So you got Sammy Valimaki, and then I'm going to go ahead and share with you another man, the Korn Ferry Tour #1 seed, Johnny Kiefer. Won twice on the KFT. If we take a look at Kiefer's OWGR, he's also inside the top 50. And that's delightful. Oh, it's just Sammy's ranking that doesn't change. It just stays the exact same. Interesting. I was freaking out about that. So Johnny Kiefer, adjusted rank for this roster, it's actually going backwards. We're not seeing enough signature events, as you can see here. It's telling us to go to signature event guys. So it's probably pumping up a couple names like Alex Noren, who should be playing in some signature events. So it's going to tell you to go, anytime you see the adjusted rank lower than the actual ranking, it means that guy's needed more in the red squares. These are all signature events or majors. So yes. But if we just plug in Johnny Kiefer here, let's see what happens. Now, we've plugged in 8 names, and we've got 6s across the board to start the first round. Anybody we add for the next 4 names from here is going to be adding to round 1 safety. We've got 7 Sony starts. We've got 6s across the board. We're going to need 3 more signature event guys, but that's fine. What do we like about Johnny Kiefer? Projected schedule, he's going to be playing all the non-signatures, all the majors, because he is world ranking wise, he's 48th in the world. So he's in for the Masters already. Has not made his way into the RBC Heritage yet. Doesn't have any signature events. He could potentially get some. Again, this guy is 48th in the world. Top 30 in OWGR get into signature events regardless. Remember this. So he could play well, get himself into the top 30. He's only got 17, 18 spots to jump. Boop. And he is. Now he's playing signature events, and he's one of the best golfers that's come out of the KFT. If we go to his power rankings over here, go Johnny Kiefer, he's right away showing up because we have this thing filtered on top 10 rates. On the Korn Ferry Tour, finishing inside the top 10, 1 in every 3 starts. Finishing top 5, 1 in every 5. Won a couple times on the KFT. Inside the top 25, more than half the time. Made 7 of 10 cuts. Korn Ferry Tour's cutthroat. You got to make birdies like crazy out there. If you take a look at what Kiefer's birdie or better rate was on the Korn Ferry Tour, it was gaining half a birdie on the field pretty much every single round. So 2 birdies, that's 6 points that you're getting for free on top of the average birdie rate that these PGA Tour professionals make from Johnny Kiefer. Could potentially make way more in certain tournaments. So Johnny Kiefer, OWGR, pedigree of the KFT, a hard schedule to get into signature events. He's going to have to pump out tournaments. He's also on the bubble of the top 50 to get into US Opens, PGA Championships, Open Championships. Going to have to play lots of golf to maintain his OWGR. Johnny Kiefer. Let's go. Round 8, non-signature event superstar. Mule. Could see some sort of Ben Griffin type situation. Sam Stevens. We're looking for those guys to take care of us in these mid-rounds. Johnny Kiefer's absolutely one of them. In round 9, we are now lacking serious signature event starts. So we're going to find ourselves a couple now. Let's get Tommy Fleetwood's name out of green. And we're going to go Ryan Fox. Ryan Fox, show your name, sir. Ryan Fox is going to be finding himself adjusted to the 22nd ranked golfer in the model based off my 30th ranking before we started this draft. What Ryan Fox does a lot of is golf after the Farmers. Doesn't show up for the first 3 weeks. It's typically his thing. And then we get a Waste Management Phoenix Open start, Pebble Beach, because he is top 50 in FedEx Cup points. So he is a signature event option throughout the year. That's great to see. He's going to be playing in the Masters. He's slated to play in every single major, all the signature events. And he's played the Cognizant in the past quite often. So he could potentially provide you with a Cognizant start. I would imagine he does because he needs to get some golf under his goddamn belt after missing the first 3 while he's out in the DP World Tour situation. Maybe he shows up for Farmers, maybe he doesn't. I don't know. But we're going to only get 4 starts from this man early. But again, this is not a problem for us after our beginning. You know, we are now filling in the hole. So if we go Ryan Fox over here, look at all the reds and the dark greens. They start filling themselves up nicely. So now Foxy gives us some back end to round 1. He gives us some signature event starts. This is the 9th round pick. This is a guy that won the Canadian Open. He will be going back to the Canadian Open, which we have 7 golfers playing in right now. It's projected. Tommy Fleetwood may not play it, so it's 6. But if you can get 7 or 8 guys playing in every single week, these schedules can change for some of these guys. You're still going to have 6 guys playing. That's the whole point. So Ryan Fox, give me him. I mean, he's going to be playing down the stretch. If we take his name out here real quick, so we can get him back in the drafting. We're going to get Canadian Open, US Open, Travelers, not going to play the John Deere, Scottish Open Championship in the rounds that matter. He's going to give us 5 starts. Potentially in round 3, he's going to give us another 5 starts. So I truly believe Ryan Fox is a great add late. He's a signature event start. He gives you some nice goofy options in non-signature events that a lot of big names don't play in. And I obviously have way too much of him. I've got 38% Ryan Fox exposure right now. So if we put this no on you, Ryan Fox is going to get janked all the way to 71st for me, almost undraftable. So I've got to get some Kurt Kitayama in my life, things like that. So we'll go. But here's Ryan Fox. Let's add him to our team of dreams, our dream team. And we've got 3 more names to go. So round number 10. We are looking for guys to fill out holes that we have. We've got Arnold Palmer Invitational holes. We've got a memorial hole. A memorial hole, yes. And we've got a traveler's hole. So we need some signature event guys. We need upside as well. You know, you could have a couple names that are outside the top 30 in OWGR, like Kiefer, Belamaki, Brennan, and Hoey, and Spieth. These are all names that are not part of these 4s in the signatures because they're not slated to play them yet. Maybe Spieth is. I don't know. Do I have him playing them? I don't have him playing the Memorial or the Travelers late. So if any one of these 5 guys get added to that mix, we've got another signature event. If 2 of them get added, we are good to go in signature event starts. So it's looking good. So I like this approach a lot. There's upside, there's speculation involved, and we can also on the back end cover our tail with a couple names from there. Another name, though, that is not even playing in the main signature event, it's Garrick Higgo. I'm going to be going to Garrick Higgo nonstop. And if you take a look at my Garrick Higgo shares, we have got Garrick Higgo. Where are you, sir? I can't find him. go, yeah. Power rank. There we go. Go down. Yeah, Gary Higo. I've drafted Gary Higo in 1 in every 3 drafts. I've got 36% exposure to him. I'm expecting him to play all 7 starts to begin the year. I'm expecting him to play a lot in round 5. Again, if you take a look at Gary Higo's projected schedule, we are getting those 2 signature event starts. We are also getting an RBC Heritage start because he won a random ass tournament with no sponsorship on his hat. I think out at, what was it? The Bahamas? What was it? It wasn't the one flight. It wasn't. Was it Punta Cana? Was it Punta Cana that he won? Either way, Garrick, off we go, baby. RBC Heritage giving us a start there, giving us a player's start. We are going to get some love. I'm all about it. I'm going to close the Discord here so we're not hearing random doo-doots. Gary Higo can absolutely find his way into these signature events if he starts off hot. If we take a look at what his last couple starts have been, it's like maybe he got hot and that's where it ends, but not in any of the majors right now. That's fine. Look at this. 7th at the Pro Course, 2nd at the Sandersons, 4th at the Bay Current, 4th at the Worldwide Technology Championship. Whether or not that continues, I don't know. I'd like to think it does. And if you take a look at what happened in South Africa, he finished 16th at the Nedbank. So as recent as a couple weeks ago, he finished top 20 again. So we're getting him late. We're getting him 7 straight starts. If he plays poorly in a couple, who cares? You know, as long as he contributes in like 3 of them, off we go. High finishes would get him into a couple quick non-signature signature event starts down the line. You know, he could be one of these guys that just has to keep playing and playing and playing in order to get himself into the Masters. He's 67th, 66th in the world. Going to get into the top 50 the week before in order to play the Masters, the PGA Championship, US Open, and the Open. A lot of incentive for him to play a lot of golf, and he's playing some good golf right now. I'm getting him in round 10. Gary Higo. So, if we go back to our dream team here, type in Higo. There he go. Now let's make sure we can cover our ass with 2 signature event guys. If none of these guys make their way into signature events, we need some options to take care of ourselves. So, going into the next couple rounds, I'm going to be grabbing a guy in the 11th round, people. What are we doing with this dude in the 11th round? He's finished 2nd in 2 major championships last year. He won the Farmers Insurance Open. Harris English. Hello? Like, why is he not part of the plan here? Yes, Harris English. He is adjusted to be the 18th best golfer on our slate. We're getting him in the 11th round. He should be 40th. But again, the lack of 5s in signature events is giving his ranking. You can see all the signature event guys getting a bump because we need them to fill these signature event holes. So that's the joy of this tool. These are the only rankings that you can really rely on because they change. You can't go with rankings that don't change. So Yaz Harris English for you. If we plug him in, look at how these holes get solved. And we're getting him in the 11th round. Boom. Harris English. I mean, if we go to power rankings for Harris English, I've got him ranked significantly higher than he should be. Yeah, he's 40th without even touching a thing. I've got 12% Harris English. I'm going to be getting more. I like Harris English. He's got 19 projected starts. That's a lot of golf. Maybe he doesn't play all of that. It is what it is. You know, I don't need him for volume. I need him for what he's going to be doing in the signatures. We know he's going to play those. And we know that he's playing well. I mean, over the last 8 months, he gained a stroke per round. He could just be our major specialist. We don't have a lot of guys in the majors, or they new in majors. Majors matter, especially with the finishing position points. A second place finish is 18 additional points. That's 6 birdies. It's a third of a round of birdies that you're getting for just finishing second. And Harris English is 13th in the world. He's 13th in the world. Drafting this guy in the 11th round. Like, to me, it doesn't make any sense. So Harris English, boom. And then while we at it, the 12th round option is the DAWG Dominator. If you didn't see that coming, I don't know what you guys have been doing for the last 75 minutes, because that's the whole point of this video, is to show you where on earth do we go to find ourselves the next best adjusted golfer. So we need a start at the API. Let's go. Let's get all of these. This is my favorite part about Google Sheets, is there's not a clear all filters. You got to go and if you're crazy enough to just generate all of these filters single-handedly, you got to go back and be crazy enough to undo them again. What a pathetic flaw in this product. Anyway, adjustment ranking time. The best adjusted ranking option that is playing in the API. It's going to be everyone playing in the API, including Alex Noren, who will be playing in the API because he's 11th in the world. There's no way he's going to fall out of the top 30 by the time Arnold Palmer Invitational rolls round 8 tournaments into the season. So if there's an Alex Noren floating around in the 12th, go for it. Grab him. If there's, let's look, ADP-wise, Kurt Kitayama, is he available? If he is, Kurt Kitayama, click his name, fixes all your holes. If you looking for somebody else later on down the draft, Brian freaking Campbell, disgusting. Will he be returning to play the John Deere Classic? Maybe he plays well there again. Who the hell knows? Let's take a look at Justin Rose, 97th in ADP. Justin Rose, if you're looking for another major specialist, if you're looking for someone that plays the Amex, if you're looking for someone that can do wonderful things in majors, there's Justin Rose. Boom. We just drafted a team that we are projecting to play in 8, 9, and 10 wide in every single round 1 event. Most of them outside the API in round 2. API is the hardest of the tournaments, apart from the Masters. If you look at the score to par, okay, I guess the Valspar, the Masters, and API were all over half a stroke difficult last year. So you know what I'm saying. Lots to like. Let's go. So that's basically how you use the tool. Link to that in the description below. It's under the shop tab in the Model Maniac Patreon. If you sign up for a full year, an annual subscription of my main premium tier, you get this for free. It's a $50 product. The entire year costs you $270. So you're getting yourself like 2 or 3 months free based off the annual subscription discount. And then you get this tool for free as well. Access to the Discord, Underdog Discord, all of that stuff, all the stuff you've seen so far. All right, let's do a couple drafts. Let's get the hell out of here. I've got a couple, and then we're going to go. We're going to use our old one just for expediatory purposes. But before we do that, let's check in on the chat. Oh, my God. Ted's already drafted 148 teams. Ted's got a problem. 48 with that is incredible. What's that, like 70 Sammys? Why is Aaron Rye falling? I don't know. Why is Aaron Rye falling? Makes no sense to me. He's signature event sneaky. He's like 22nd in the world. He's going to be playing signatures. He's good on these like goofy ass short courses that all the non-signatures are played at. I'm down. Let's see. Maybe we can find a couple. Maybe the 42nd draft, we can find it. Oh, here's an Aaron Rye. Cool. While we at it. So ADP wise, he's Akshay and Aaron Rye situation. Our team is Xander, Cam Young, Bobby Mack, Maverick McNeely, Rico, and Michael Brennan. Let's party. So this is number 42. I'm going to go back to number 42 over here. Plug it in. Okay. Why is Rye falling? I don't know. It's people are scared for some reason. So I'm actually just going to go ahead and plug him into the new one. So this is it. This is how these are my 5 favorite guys. Boom. Got that screenshot saved for later. Sorry about that. All righty. We got to rattle these guys off because Mini Maniac just woke up. Whoopsie daisy. You know what? We are going to be going off of the old tool. That's just how it is now. So, cognizant problem immediately. Find the cogs. Cogs. So, cognizance in the 7th. Is Aaron Rye going to be playing the cognizant? I don't think so. What is Aaron Rye's situation? He's available to us here. Do we want to play him? 27th, 29th, what are we drafting here right now? We're sitting at 41. I mean, that's value. Aaron Rye gives us Farmers, Pebble, Waste Management, and Genesis. No Cognizant, but he could give us, if he wants to get into the RBC Heritage, he's got to stay inside the top 30 in the world. So he might be playing a lot of golf, and I like the Valspar and the Valero for good courses for him too. So should we take a gamble on Aaron Rye? This is our old projected schedule. Let's ramp his shit up and get him playing in all of these signature events as well. Let's say he takes the Texas off and plays all the SIGs, stays inside the top 30 in the world. I don't see him playing the CJ Cup, Byron Nelson. See him playing that. See him playing that. Don't see him playing the John Deere. See him going to play the Genesis Scottish. Let's assume that's how it goes from here on out with Aaron Rye. And go back to the 42nd draft that we've done here. And go ahead and take Aaron Rye. If we plug him in, we are desperate for cognizant starts, though. You know what I'm saying? These should technically all be cognizant clicks from here on out. All 6 of them. To give us like a solid 8, going into the cognizant. But Aaron Rye is going to give us potentially some good solid options throughout the year. Now we got to focus on cognizance, like nonstop. Okay. There's a Sammy, and Norin, a Kiefer. So I'm cool with like any of those 3 over here as well. Okay. Aaron Rye's on the menu. 52. Right. That's a good point. He does play courses that are difficult very well. Absolutely. But again, if you're finishing top 5 at those courses, that's 5 or 6 birdies worth of birdies that you're getting. And everyone is just scoring those points too. You have to score points there. And if you're finishing high up at those places that don't have a lot of birdies, you're separating yourself from the rest of the field because those finishing position points are worth relatively more than at a birdie fest. The fraction of the finishing position gets bigger the less birdies there are because it makes up a bigger part of the total of points available. So finishing is way more important at those harder events, and he plays them well. And he's late. You can pick him up in the last round. Why the hell not? And remember, he won the Farmers at -8, but that was when they had no finishing position points last year. So he only got 8 points for finishing 8 under par. Whereas he would have won the Farmers last year and won 20 points. 12 extra points just for that finish, So that's what, 3-4 birdies more, which makes it -12 essentially. So interesting ways to think about it. We'll go ahead and see what we got here for number 52. We've got a Billy Garrick, Russell Henley, all the way down here in the 7th round. 52 available to us. Oh, we've got a Colin lineup. Ugh. Xander, Rory, Maverick, Colin. This was an auto draft nightmare. It snuck into the autopilot queue, and I didn't realize about it. Jason Day. But we can go Jason Day at the end, yeah. Jason Day at the end. Then we can go could you not get away with having 4 less cognate starts as long as your dudes do well at the other events? Probably. Let's look. I mean, I've got rankings here. So based off of like finished fantasy points for a specific round, I mean, the average fantasy points per round is 16. This is based off of like the birdies and pars and bogeys and stuff. You know, he made 7 birdies, 9 pars, 2 bogeys. That's going to get you 24 points worth of scoring points, right? So if you're missing 8 of those, that's 200 points, man. Like, for you to outscore the 5 other people in your squad by 200 points, you got to find the right golfers to have played well. To me, it's easier to find golfers that are playing. You know what I'm saying? Like, so in my opinion, 4 guys starting the Cognizant is like a death knell, because I could be well behind. Even if my guys that are all playing in the 6, are they going to be like 200 points behind you? Just because I don't have the perfect people, maybe. But there's guys. So, and that's just on average. That's just fantasy points per like birdie and bogey. That doesn't even include finishing position points. If you have a couple dudes that finish top 10, that's an additional couple more points. So I do think having people start at every single start can help, because and Ted makes a good point here, and this is what we were chatting about in the I'll do a Cognizant game theory show later on. But off the score to par last year, the Cognizant was almost 2 strokes under par. Then we've got Pebble Beach, which played also 2 under par. Amex, 2.5 under par. Those are the 3 easiest courses on the rotation. If it blows at Pebble, that's not the easiest course out there at all. So if you've got, and the thing is, there's five events where you can have a Cognizant starter contributing 4 more before that, because usually the people playing the Cognizant are going to be playing the non-Siggies anyway, the Sony, the Farmers, the Amex, and the Waste Management. They have to play all 5 to start off the year, and that's where I think it's sneaky, because you're getting free points on people. And additionally, when it comes to the Cognizant, the argument here, not substitution costs, trying to narrow down on players at the COG might remove really good players towards the end. Correct. But again, the COG, the ideal, this is perfect, because it's the COG that everything else revolves around. If you focus on the COG, then you load up on good players at the end. If you don't focus on the COG early, you get good COG players towards the end of the draft, or just normal COG players at the end of the draft. But additionally, what I want to mention is, if you think, like, we're kind of getting into the game theory side of this here now. This is kind of going long too. But I want to just show you power rankings. Sorry, projected schedule. This is on the old one. here's their strokes gained for all the different starts here. So if we go filter by cognizant, Jake Knapp, Shane Lowry, Jacob Bridgman, Seb Straka, Russell Henley, Chris Kirkman, Wu Lee, Alex Noren, Daniel Berger, Billy Horschel. Those are the top 10 names in strokes gained at the Cognizant Classic with at least 8 rounds over the last 5 years. If you somehow get those 10 guys, is it even possible to get these 10 guys on your team? You are like gobbling up, say 5 of the first 10, just spitballing, yeah. You're gobbling up. If you grab the 10 best people, ADP wise, can we do this? Yes, you can go early on Jake, you can go early on Shane, you can go early on Bridgman, you can get Sepp in the second, you can get Russell Henley, all of these guys. These are the best strokes gained approach. So strokes gained total at the Cognizant Classic in this field slated to play. And they're all going after the 30th pick in the draft for ADP. So Seb Straka is the only person that might be playing that goes early. Russell Henley is also like 29th, whatever. So you get what I'm saying, though. Then you start zooming out. Then like you get Max Griesemann and Jordan Spieth that potentially play. But again, there's like really no early ADPs going on here. Sungjae gives you one. All the Cognizant starts are like late in the draft. So if you can just like scoop those guys up, especially the best ones, if you can grab them, then you're leaving like nothing for 5 other people to scrap over. You know, like there's multiple people in your pool could easily have 4 Cognizant starters when you've got 8, 9. You know, like you could easily outscore them there. Even if they've been beating you by 150 points to start the first 6. They're going to have potentially 3. You never know. So it's an interesting angle. I think it's basically this year's Mexico. Again, this is my issue. Last year was not getting enough through. I had the optimal guys for the end, and I never got them to the end. So I think I'm making a bit more of an emphasis on getting through the first round and then letting the variance of the contest go through. And additionally, I have heavy weightings for round 4. Course history for round 4. They're playing the same Canadian Open. They're playing, you know, all the same courses, John Deere Classics, things like that. Scottish Open, same place. I'm looking for good course history. So I've got like 25% of my model based off of round 4. So once my volume, I'm going to shove them through round 1, let them get through round 2 and 3. And then once whoever gets to round 4 is optimal, in my opinion. And if you're drafting off this tool, you've got 6 starts guaranteed in that final round as well, hopefully for every single one of them, including the John Deere Classic, which is basically a cognizant of the final round because the John Deere is the easiest of them all. If you have 6 guys playing there, you can make up tons of points. So you pick your lane. This is what the tool lets you do. If you want a balanced roster with just volume, go ahead. If you want to just load up on round 4 people to just pound and hope that they make it to round 4, and when they make it to round 4, they crush, go ahead. If you want, I've been drafting all sorts. I've been going round 4 heavy. I've been going round 1 heavy. I've been doing a bit of both. I might change up the model settings later on for some other stuff. So we'll see. Exactly, Retail Ripper. If you go heavy on the cog, if you hog the cog, yes, we're all about hogging the cogging. So, of course you are, Darby. I'm so here, cognizant of Mexico Open. I might just ban you from this channel. Jesus, pessimism in you. And Ted also. Great comparison, Darby. So anyway, does this make me like Sangja even more? Probably. Did you die at Mexico? Hey, the thing is, the cog isn't just one person. It's a multitude of different people. It's a movement. It's not a person. Finau was a significant cog in the wheel last year. and he was baby. He was a dad. So that was brutal. And if you didn't have Sanjay, Hideki at the Century, you were toast. Good. Use Maniac at sign up. I appreciate you, my friend. We'll find. I'll take that. Okay, good. So we coming around. We're coming around. I have no love for Tom Kim. I think he's broken. Maybe sprinkle him in a little bit. We'll see. Hogging the cogging. Let's go. All right, people. Okay. Let's get these 3 done and then we go. 52. Okay, Garrick. I'm taking so much Garrick right now. Marco Penge in the 11th round, 46. Because Penge, see, I've taken a lot of Harris already. So if we go Penge, he flattens out, the first one. He could be playing a cognizant start because he's not playing a lot of golf on the PJ early. I like Penge, because again, he has the potential like these 5s in the signature events with Billy, with Penge, with Garrick, with Sammy, with Wyndham Clark, with Max Griesemann and Rico Hoey. Those are all guys that aren't slated to be filling any of these 6s and 5s over here. One of them surely has to be getting into a signature event later on in the year. And I think they can do it, potentially more. So taking a big gamble on lots of these guys getting themselves into signature events as the season unfolds. Now, before I did like my first 70 drafts, I was making sure I had signature events filled. This is now a different thing. Penge. All right, people. Here's another one. Sammy. Here's another Penge at the end. 57. We don't have anything built in here. Penge. Like this API, if he's still inside the top 30, he's in. He's playing. And then we get all of these other ones. I don't know. I think he's an interesting click late. He's too good. If we take a look at what he got up to, like if you take a look at his birdies gained on the field, he's like right up there. He's 3rd behind Scotty and Rory. Makes a lot of birdies. So he scores a lot of fantasy points. I don't know if I can leave him alone. Late. Especially late. Also, by the way, Haotong Lee, I'm not drafting him. He's also playing those stupid DP World Tour events. Penge is not on the list. Sammy, Penge, and Alex Noren are not playing those DP events yet in the beginning of the year. At least they're not on the internet website. The internet websites. So that's it. We can do a couple Pat Mayo. Pat Mayo 06. Another situation here where I'm looking to dodge a couple signature event situations. But we've got Brennan, Higo, Kiefer, Potgieter, Horschel, Minwoo, and Vince Whaley. Minwoo is like going to get invited to the Arnold Palmer Invitational again, isn't he? So on the clock, we've got Minwoo. I'm looking for Vince Whaley to end. He's been taken. Womp womp. By the way, okay, so do we ditch Vince Whaley and go to We take Jason Day. Is he available? Yeah. Jason Day is available in the 12th round. Like, and if we're looking for someone to get stuff done, Jason Day plays the Houston. Like, you know, this is the thing. All right, people. That's going to be it from me. Oh, you Candyman? Also, oh yes, you are. You are. You took Whaley? Incredible. Awesome stuff. All right, friends. Appreciate you all. If you guys don't have the tool, link in the description under the shop tab on my Patreon. I'll be having some free, like I'm going to be publishing like articles to my Patreon for free. So some of the articles will come out weekly next year. Breaking 100, I think I'm going to do on my Patreon for free. And then, you know, all my picks and stuff go into the Discord as I make them. All my tools and stuff available to you guys. Get in now, get the full year, and get the tool for free. Then you get all my annual sub stuff for the full year. Just get on board, people. Come over, have a good time. Until then, we'll see you next time. Peace. How do I end this without the outro? There we go.